had it for a couple years. I just uploaded that this week, so I'm showing up.
Let's hear it for our band. Damon Hope on percussion, Andrew Higgins on bass and keyboards, and our own Michael Grossman on piano. There we go. Hi there, everybody. Welcome and happy Sunday. I'm so delighted to have you all here and everyone here with us on our live stream. Welcome to Unity San Francisco. I am Reverend Ken Daigle, and I have the honor of serving as senior minister here. Looking around, seeing some very familiar faces and some wonderful people to have back. If you were here with us last week, you know what an incredible Easter service we have. And Miss Misa Malone is back in the house. Yeah. So we have a beautiful service planned for you today, and Reverend Deanne is giving the talk today. Yay! And you're in for a treat. You're in for a wonderful treat. Unity was started in the 1880s by Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, and it's based on the truth that we have unlimited access to the divine. That the truth we know in our hearts and that we explore when we read scripture or any wisdom teaching, that we're able to discern, know, and articulate the right and perfect answer for us in our lives, spiritually, emotionally, and physically in the world. So that teaching has transformed hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people around the world. We think of them today as common thinking, that, your thoughts create your world. And many people believe that as they affirm things so they know it. That started in Unity. The idea of affirmations started with Unity teachings in the New Thought movement. So we are a wonderful continuation of that, for we know that truth is always unfolding and that wisdom is always here for us to know and to live in. As our prayer chaplains have taken their positions around the room, I invite Misa to come up, and we start this service with a chant and a remembrance of who and what we are. So I invite you to get comfortable in your seats, to let the chair hold you, to let the floor hold you. And know at this moment, by doing nothing, we're on a ride through space in the middle of the universe.
I am light, I am light. I am light, I am light. I'm not the mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that caused me pain. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul is light. Because I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star shining peace over it all. I am light. know this with me. I am light, I am light. You are 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 light. We 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 are light.
In this moment, we breathe once again, knowing that our true essence cannot be limited by a body. That who we are is larger than the vessel that seems to carry us at the moment. We are the expression of the divine in form, divinity defined, God on the inside. As we tune in to that truth, we see ourselves lifted, generous, compassionate, caring, loving, filled with unlimited energy, clear of purpose. And we choose today to consciously remember who we are, who we truly are, and lift ourselves, our thinking, and our actions to the divine, being the divine expression that the world needs. I am the light that the world needs. Can we say that together? I am the light that the world needs. As we step forward in this day, we celebrate that truth. And so it is. Amen.
Good morning, good morning. Thank you so much just for allowing me to be a part of this community. I just love being here. I do so many things volunteering as a prayer chaplain. My name is Tyler. I also work here for you 18 hours a week. And I love being with people to stand for something, to stand with you. And one of the things we stand for, a vision statement, a mission statement, 5 core values, love, joy, prayer and meditation. Another core value that we love to stand for is inclusivity, where there is a world where no one is left out, no disenfranchisement, no separation. And so when the community came together many years ago to say, what is the words that we should put into a vision statement and a mission statement and into the core values, the community chose these words. These words, we welcome and embrace all as expressions of the divine, so that we wouldn't have a focus of what we want to stand for. That just makes my heart so happy, right? To dream and pray and believe and then practice a world that is that. So these words, we welcome and embrace all as expressions of the divine. I'm going to ask you to say it with me and say it together. We welcome and embrace all as expressions of the divine. And so it is. One of the things I love doing here too is typing those PowerPoints in this beautiful bulletin. So if you pull out your bulletin, I'm a little bit proud. And then when there's a little typo, I have a little sweat bead. You know? That's just me. And then I get to self-reflect and see that. Yeah. But anyways, so wonderful thing about a healthy community is a healthy calendar of events. And so we have these Wednesday nights, every Wednesday at 7 p.m. It's a little of a gentle refresh, drop in, refresh and renew of my own soul. So this coming Wednesday is the Om Hour with Reverend Deanne and Reverend Allie. Come get your chant on. Right? So they're going to do the practicing of prayer and stillness and going within with chanting or with bells or with hand gestures, mudras, and they will guide you through this wonderful experiential Wednesday evening. And please come Wednesday evening, May 1st at 7 p.m. with Deanne and Allie. Another fun class coming up is Living with Nothing and No One Against You, which is also called the Q process. And this was put together by 3 masters of divinity. And one of them, Gary Simmons, has been a minister within the Unity Movement for like 25 years. And Jane too, Jane Simmons. So come to this class with Reverend Deanne. It is an experiential journey for people at all different levels of healing. You can be the beginner, you can be the advanced, but it's going to help you through these worksheets in the class to say, what is it that I'm fighting against? What is a current day problem that I seem to create in my mind? And then do these exercises. Now this class is another unique experience because it's going to be on Zoom. So all of our friends out on the internet, you can also sign up for this class as well. It's going to be Saturday from 10:30 to 4:30 on the 11th, and then it's going to be 3 Thursday evenings from 7 to 9 p.m. You're going to be at your own home computer or wherever you choose to log in, so be sure to sign up and to purchase your workbook in advance of the class. If you're going to be visiting us from Ireland or England or anywhere, Italy, we need to find a way to get you the book so that before Saturday the 11th, you already have your book and you're ready to log in and jump into class. Ask us more information afterwards, and there's sign-ups in the lobby. Next, we also have Ken's Passion of Hamilton. You know, Lin-Manuel Miranda, the writer of this amazing musical, looked back into history at some of the founding fathers to find inspiration in a new and fresh way with music that's modern. And then guess who else got inspired, along with a lot of Americans? Ken Daigle got inspired, right? And decided to write the spiritual lessons of Hamilton, and he breaks it into 2 Sunday services. So you gotta come early. We're gonna have maximum seating to every wall. Come early, get your seat. And it's the 12th and the 19th, 2 Sunday services for Hamilton. Come at 10:30 and or early. And save the date. Our new building, our first service on Wednesday the 15th at 7 p.m. at 240 Page Street. We have committed and we have signed the documents to sell this building and to buy our new spiritual home. Now, we're going to be, right? Big old sanctuary. Oh my God. And we're going to make it beautiful.
I think I should clarify.
We're going to make it beautiful, but it is
yes. So
it's in the beginning.
I've signed the documents. The closing is actually on Wednesday, May 1st. The close on this building, the sale of this building, on the 1st. The Page Street closes on the 6th. So there's a lot of paperwork yet to do, and the money has not changed hands yet, but it is in process, and I have signed on the dotted line. And then we will have our first service. We're going to do a chanting and a saging and a wonderful service we'll create. We don't have all the parameters yet, but plan on being there, and we will all welcome our new home as we begin this new journey. Thank you.
Yes. What a feeling. What a feeling of celebration. So save the date, Wednesday the 15th. I'm going to also invite the choir to come join me on the stage as we get ready for a song in a minute. But I also want to say, if you're here for the first time, thank you for coming and joining us and celebrating the divinity that is inside each and every one of us. And thank you for being here. Thank you for finding us. There is a gift for you right over there by the name tag table. And then we also have other books in the lobby that are also for free. In the back of your chair, you will notice another book, which is Gratitude and Grace. This is also our gift to you in the back of the chair. One of the articles, The Many Ways to Practice Gratitude. So take this as a gift as well. Also, our spiritual connection card. If you notice in your bulletin, please tear out your spiritual connection card, and if you would please fill out your name and your email and how you found out about us. We're also going to return to this spiritual connection card a little bit later in the service. But just for now, the first side, name and address, so that we can stay in connection with you, and you are then giving connection to Reverend Ken and Deanne, who read these cards. So now, please stand if you're willing and able. Deborah Winters is coming to the stage. We're going to sing Down in My Soul.
I hear the music down in my soul. I hear the music down in my soul. I hear the music down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. I got a new day down in my soul. I got a new day down in my soul. I got a new day down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. I love the silence down in my soul. Oh, I love the silence down in my soul. I love the silence down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. Here we go. I feel the power down in my soul. I feel the power, oh, down in my soul. I feel the power down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. Yes, and the whole wide world is my home. Yes, it is. And the whole wide world is my home. Amen.
Deborah Winters, everybody! Sounds of Unity Choir! It's now time for our meet and greet. I invite you to greet your neighbors with a handshake or a hug. If you're live streaming with us, we will be with you in just a minute.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. And if you're joining us on live stream, I'm asking you to make sure that you're on our webpage. You can live stream from our webpage, and on it are interactive buttons, so you can fill out your connection card, you can fill out prayer requests. Everything we do here, we get to interact with you. So welcome again. I'll wait. Well, there we go. That's better. Hi. It's so good to have you all here. And we have one more announcement.
We
Two more.
do. We have another announcement.
Yeah.
So, as most of you know, we annually have a prayer retreat here at Unity San Francisco, where prayer chaplains and anyone who is just interested in prayer is welcome to join us as we go to the Mercy Center in Burlingame. It's fabulous. It really is. It's
great
fabulous.
space. Yeah.
The space is incredible. The food is wonderful. You get your own private little monk cell.
Don't think Four Seasons.
And it's amazing. We start on Friday, and we just stay in that prayer field and the silence, and more prayer and more silence and more connection and more laughing and more silence, and we go all the way through till Sunday afternoon. So the deadline to guarantee your space is the day after tomorrow. Okay, so if you are interested in going, you need to get a deposit in, and it will be non-refundable after May 1st. We have to get final numbers, like concrete numbers, to Mercy Center by Tuesday. And then if there is still space available throughout the month of May, you're welcome to still sign up, but we need the baseline number by May 1st. And
Today.
there may or may not be room, because they have other events going on there. Yeah. So if you want to guarantee your space, you need to sign up today. It's $395 all-inclusive. That includes your room Friday, Saturday. It includes meals, dinner, all the way through lunch on Sunday. And then it includes all the workshops. Linda Martella-Whitsitt, who wrote Divine Audacity, who's also the head of Silent Unity, is coming on Saturday afternoon, and she's going to do a workshop with everyone at the prayer retreat. So please, if you're even slightly interested, come and talk to me and let me know. You do not have to know anything about prayer to come to this retreat, right? You're welcome whatever level you are at.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, this transition's hard.
Yep.
So we wanted to talk to you about our beloved Ben. For those of you who may not know him, Ben is one of our singers. He's been here at Unity for 15 years, something like that,
Yeah.
singing through all seasons with us. He's known as the bass of the Bay. And I'll let Deanne fill in a little bit more, and then I'll read something from Ben.
So Ben reached out and contacted me last week, and it does seem as if, in the moment, what he's experiencing is a resurgence of his liver cancer. He has asked that this community, who he loves so much, that we continue to hold him in prayer. He is in hospice at the moment. We know that there is infinite potential everywhere, and we also know that Ben is this eternal being. Yeah. Ben is an eternal being, and that song that is his is never going to stop, because it lives in our hearts. So however this is showing up for him in time and in space, we are holding the eternal nature of who and what he is. That is what he has asked of us. So is this community on board with that? We have something that we're going to read to you.
Yeah.
This is his words of where he is right now.
And along those lines, Dan's spoken to him, I've spoken to him, and there's been another member of the community who's been in contact with him. And then he tells us this. As a lot of you know, the past year has been fighting cancer of an undetermined source that was attacking my liver. I was put on chemo in June, and things seemed to be going well. December, the cancer fought back and mutated. New strong chemo was tried, and it was too much for my immune system. I have had no treatment since December, and upon being admitted back into the hospital last Thursday for observation, I was discharged from UCSF Hospital and placed on hospice care at home. Apparently, the chemo treatments I received in December were too strong for me and essentially wiped out my immune system, which means I can't do any more chemo, the effect of which is the return of the cancer in my liver. At this time, I ask that you respect my wishes for privacy as I go through this very difficult time. Please do not reach out to me on my Facebook page, posting your thoughts on my GoFundMe page. No texts or calls at this moment. To say the least, it's all been overwhelming. I thank you so much for everything. I love you more than words can say. Love and life is a beautiful song. Continue to sing it. Ben Bacot. So we offer this prayer and this hope and this statement right now that Ben is choosing the right and perfect path for himself. And it is not ours to question it or intervene in it. But the highest and the best is unfolding in this moment of seeming disease comes healing and wholeness. So in its midst, we take a deep breath. And we know that the energy and the life and the love force we know as Ben Bacot is right here in our hearts. There is no dis-ease. There is no lack. There is no separation. For in this moment, we feel him, know him, touch him, support him, adore him. And he is one with each and every one of us. He is one with the eternal one source. Ben is our inspiration, our way shower, and our friend. And for this, we are so grateful. And together we all say, Amen.
And so it is.
And as Ben would say, Ashe.
Ashe.
All right. Thank you.
So we're going to invite Deborah to come on up. Oh, no, actually, we're going to invite Nelson to
Nelson
come up.
first.
Sorry, Deborah. For our daily word, which is resilience. And we're just knowing this and anchoring this for ourselves and for Ben in this time.
It is now time for the daily word, a daily reflection which has been part of unity for over 100 years. I invite you to take a deep breath, to pause in the silence, to close your eyes if you wish, as we anchor our awareness of divine truth. And I invite you to let these words become your words. Today's daily word is resilience. I am an infinite expression of life. I am whole and well. When a plant goes through a dry period, it grows stronger because it can no longer rely on the surface moisture. It has to go deep. And so do I. When difficulties cause me to reach toward a deeper level of my being, I experience a stronger sense of my capacity for growth and change. During these dry periods that seem to test my inner resources, I am encouraged to stretch and extend the roots of my soul to a deeper level. There are no situations in my life that define me. I stand in my spiritual identity and honor that part of myself. No one can take away my essential spiritual self from me. I bounce back from adversity with ease and grace. I am resilient. Today's affirmation is, I am an infinite expression of life. I am whole and well. Please know this affirmation with me now. I am an infinite expression of life. I am whole and well. And so it is.
They all sound too good to be true. You've heard about a place called home, but there doesn't seem to be one for you. So one more night you cry yourself to sleep and drift off to a distant dream where love takes you in and everything changes. A miracle starts with the beat of a heart where love takes you home and says you belong here. Oh, the loneliness ends and a new life begins when love takes you in. And sometimes while you're sleeping, someone else is dreaming too, facing all the feelings you find in your heart to know you're loved too. And like the rain that falls into the sea, in a moment what has been will be. Where love takes you in and everything changes. Oh, a miracle starts with the beat of a heart, and this love will never let you go. There is nothing that could cause this love to lose its hold. Where love takes you in and says you belong here. Yes, a miracle starts with the beat of a heart when love takes you home and says you belong here. Oh, a miracle starts and a new life begins when love takes you home. It takes you in for good when love takes you in. For
Deborah Winters, everybody. So I'm prepping for this class, right? The Q process, the art and practice of living with nothing and no one against you. Don't we wish it was that easy, huh? You get news like what's happening with Ben, and you think, really? Nothing and no one is against me? Really? Against him? Really? You even have experiences in the day-to-day. We're doing a lot of due diligence still on the building, and I was down at City Hall Records. Can just imagine how fun that morning was. And I looked at it online here, and I could see basically everything we needed. And I walked down to City Rec, I could see it all, but I couldn't actually get the document. So I go to City Hall thinking, I'll pull it all up and I'll just get the document. Well, no, they have an entirely different system at the actual City Hall than what you look at when you're looking at it from somewhere else. And the woman was so nice. She gives me this little manual. And she says, here you go, this will help you. And I'm working on the system and I cannot find, the building has been there since 1909. There's gotta be something in the records, right? And I can't find a thing, and I'm looking at the instructions and I'm getting more and more irritated, I'm getting more and more annoyed, and I start thinking and knowing that this computer system is out to get me. Because it really feels like that. Right? And I am so frustrated that when I finally, and I'm not even like, I'm working, I'm gonna figure this out, I'm gonna make this work. I finally get to go back to the desk and I'm like, I can't find anything. And she like goes, oh no, it's all right there. And I'm like, oh. So she walks me back over to my station where I was sitting, and she proceeds to sort of guide me through how to use the system. And the whole time she's doing that, I'm, of course, sort of fighting with it still. Like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Why did they do it that way? Well, this is so not intuitive. I was having a whole sort of like conversation with this poor woman sitting there very calmly, just looking at me. And finally, I got how the system worked. And I saw the flow and I saw the process, and I was like, oh, thank you very much. And then I was able to sort of navigate the entire system. But I literally felt as if that computer was out to get me. And it became not just the computer system was out to get me, it expanded to the people who had designed this computer system were out to get me, right? And that they were stupid, right? Literally, I was like, this is so stupid. Whoever designed this is such an idiot, right? I went through a whole process, and we all have these moments in our day, yeah? We have these moments in our day where something is happening, something is irritating us, something is rubbing us a certain way. And the way that it's rubbing us makes us think that there is something out there against us. Enemy territory. We feel as if we have entered enemy territory, and it can happen in a heartbeat. So I was all chill. I worked on my talk last night. I did the final slide prep this morning, got all the spiritual stuff in the bulletin, added it to the connection card. I did all of it. And I arrive here, and Tyler is looking at me. He's like, I don't see anything in the slides. And I don't know what happened, but none of my prep was in here. None of what I had done to the bulletin was there. Nothing that I had done was there. And I'm breathing because I had printed out a copy of it, right? So I had a copy, and I was like, all right, I'll just have to recreate it. So then as I'm trying to recreate it, I can't log in to anything that has the images that I need. My one password isn't working. And I literally had a moment where I just wanted to cry. It happens in a heartbeat. Everything we know, all the spiritual principles we know, all the truth we understand, in a heartbeat, I was in enemy territory. Dropbox was out to get me this morning, right? So when we're in enemy territory, right? There's a lot of things that we experience in enemy territory. You guys know what you experience when you're in enemy territory, right? What happens when you're in enemy territory? What do you feel in enemy territory? Pressure, right? Pressure, right? Darlene? Revenge, right? Like you get all this emotional stuff comes up, right? Like it's a very emotional thing, right, Marty? Oh, you can feel sort of like small, like it sort of moves you. I get stuff in my stomach, I get tense, I get like all this like physiological response when I feel like I'm in enemy territory, right? Sometimes the mind just doesn't want to stop. Oh, I should have told them. Why didn't I tell them? I could have told them. I should have, right? Or I can't stop telling the story. Right? Can't stop telling. Do you know what happened to me today? Do you know? Can I just tell you what happened to me today? I need to tell somebody what happened to me today. And you just keep going with these thoughts and thoughts and thoughts. These are all cues that we are in enemy territory. And when we're in that place, we're not coming from our best, shiniest self at all, are we? Where we're coming from is from our pain. We're coming from the wounds that we have. We all have them. Even if we had the most amazing parents on the planet, we all have those places, those spaces in our development where we had unmet needs, where something that we wanted wasn't there, and we created a story about it not being there. We have our pain, we have our unworthiness, we have all of those things that they're all of a sudden the ones that are in the driver's seat. They are the ones that are in control of our experience. Now, what we know in this teaching is that we are in control of our experience except when we get hijacked. Right? Our whole system gets hijacked. And it's fast, man. It happens in less than 0.2 seconds. Oh, our amygdala gets triggered and all these hormones come rushing through and it is whoosh. We are triggered. And what we are living from and breathing from and happening from is from who we aren't. We're happening from this human understanding of who we are rather than the divine understanding of who we are. And it looks like that. Right? It looks like that. Everything is out to get us. Big, scary monsters all around. We see things not as they are, but as we are. Oh, breathe into that with me. Right? We see things not as they are, but as we are. The perception, the meaning making, the stories that we tell ourselves that we were told when we were children are all the way that we are seeing the world as well as ourselves. It's like we have filters in place, and so they keep us from being able to just see what is. Going into sort of Byron Katie. The what isness of it is not good or bad. And yet, I felt this morning, right, as if something was against me. There's nothing against me. That was completely my perception. That had nothing to do with reality. Dropbox was not out to get me. My internet connection at home was not out to get me. But that is what it felt like within myself. And that's going to happen over and over and over again, because guess what? We are spiritual beings having this human experience. And so these triggers are going to arise again and again and again. And those triggers are not there to make us feel awful about ourselves. Those triggers are there to help us recognize that that's a place that's crying out for healing. That's a place that is asking to be made whole. You are made in the image and likeness of the wholeness that you are. That is the truth of your being. That is what is seeking to express as your life, always more fully and more powerfully, always. So in those moments that you don't believe your divine truth, you start to feel those unpleasant thoughts and emotions. It's an alarm bell going off saying, pay attention to me. This is a place where you are not aligned with the truth of who you are. No matter what, your perception is going to filter into what you see and experience in this world. Right? No matter what. It is cute, isn't it? No matter what, your tusk, your being in this human world is going to impact and influence what you're seeing and how you're showing up in it. The question is, do you want that filter to be coming from your pain and your loss and your wounding and your fear and your not enoughness? Or do you want that filter to be coming from the wholeness and the compassion that you are? Because no matter what, there's going to be a filter. So which one are you going to choose? Because it is a choice point, always a choice point. And yet, certainly when we get hijacked, it doesn't feel like there's a choice there. It feels as if that choice sort of gets taken away and I'm hijacked and I'm just on that train, right? So what do? We have to wake up, really. We have to be willing to wake up. We have to be willing to see those places within us that are crying out for wholeness, that are crying out for compassion. Because we have all developed incredible strategies to navigate our own wounding, right? All the ways that we are wounded, we have incredible coping mechanisms to be able to handle it. And they're based on who you're not the truth of who you are. They're based on your wounds and your fears and all of that. And so when you find yourself blaming, I was certainly blaming, this system is crazy. Right? Angry, I was angry too. I'm wasting so much time here trying to get this information. Judgment, the people who designed this thing were idiots. Resistance, even when she was helping me, I kept trying to tell her how stupid the system was. Right? I was resisting even the fact she was trying to help me. Withdrawal, I tried to work it at first, right? I'm going to do this on my own. I'm going to make this all happen on my own. Efforting, working so hard to try to make something. Because what? And then justifying, right? Justifying. Well, this is set up in such a way that, of course, it wouldn't be easy for a person to be able to navigate this easily. Justifying. Because what I was afraid of is that I was stupid. What I was afraid of is that I was inept. All the things that I was accusing the computer program and the developers of being was actually what I was afraid my struggle with that program was illuminating. And rather than being willing to own it for myself, wow, I feel really dumb right now, because I can't figure this out to save my life. Instead of owning it, I was projecting it outward onto an inanimate object. That is not allowing myself to actually heal. For me to actually sit there and go, wow, I feel really dumb right now. What is that? What is that place within me that feels less than, that feels as if I'm not smart, that feels as if I don't have what I need to be able to navigate? What is that place within me? So instead of ignoring it, when I'm paying attention to my reactiveness versus my responsive, being able to respond, when I pay attention to my reactivity, then I have an opportunity to do some real deep healing work. Now, a lot of you in here took the shadow class with me, the light side of the dark changers, and this work in the Q process is shadow work. It's gentle and it's empowering, and there's worksheets. It's a 21-day process. And it takes you sort of week by week by week as you start to go deeper and deeper and deeper. And what I love about this work is that you then have the tool to always be able to meet your hurt, wounded, less than self with love and compassion. You will have the tools to be able to navigate this place so that you can actually heal, so that you actually can believe that there is no one and nothing against you. Really. What would your life be with no one and nothing against you? Just close your eyes for a minute. What if there was no one and nothing against you? What would your life be like? What does it feel like? Call it out. What would it be like to have nothing and no one against you, really? Freedom, peaceful, bliss. Heaven on earth, which is what we teach is part of who we are called to be, right? Heaven on earth right now. Comfortable. Anything else? Living in the arms of love, which Deborah sang so beautifully, right? When love calls you in. When love calls you in. But we have to be willing to do the work. We have to be willing to meet those spaces within us, as scary as they might be. Because remember the picture of the little girl with the monster? We actually think we're the monster. We're afraid that we're the monster. We're afraid that that's actually who we are. And we don't want to be the monster. I mean, I don't know, does anybody in here really want to be the monster? I don't want to be the monster. But that's not wholeness. That's not wholeness. Wholeness is being able to hold everything that we are, even the human parts of us that don't feel like we're enough, that struggle with our sense of inadequacy. We are inviting ourselves into a larger container. I say this a lot in my classes. This teaching is additive and inclusive. Additive and inclusive. We don't throw away our old understandings. We touch them and hold them with a new understanding, and that is how they are transformed. That is how we are able to do deep, profound healing work within ourselves. Not just something that's happening in our mind, not just an idea that is happening, but something that is an embodied transformation, so that we can let go of these old patterns. We can let go. At this point, having done the Q process, as it's my third time around on the Q process, and having done it 3 times around, I get to where I was this morning and I think, oh, I know what this is. And I have a process to be able to recenter myself and realign myself. Pain that is not transformed is pain transmitted. Really think about that. Pain that is not transformed is being transmitted. You're going to have to, it shows up somehow. And we know that that is not who we have come here to be. A transmitter of pain. We have come here to be expressions of love in all of its myriad, unique, magnificent ways. So, next week, I'm going to talk more about who have we come here to be, because that's the other side of it, right? So the first piece is, oh my God, I need to recognize when I'm in enemy territory, right? Because if you don't even know you're in enemy territory, you just think that this is what life is. But when we begin to realize, oh, I'm in enemy territory right now. I think something's against me. I think something's not working in supporting me. I'm caught up in my story. We all have our stories, right? Sometimes it's a story about our childhood. Well, if my mother had only, if my father had only, they were doing the best they could, but we all have our stories that hook us in to basically a victim consciousness. We think that something is happening to us. And if things are going well, we're okay with that. We're okay if things are going well. It's when things aren't going well. What you are feeling, those uncomfortableness and all of that, the emotions, that sense when you feel as if the enemy is against you, all of that, as I said before, is the cue process. It is the cue for you to pay attention and to be willing to go deeper. So it's 21 days that you immerse yourself in yourself. Completely self-guided. You've got the worksheets. Every day you do a worksheet. You guys think you could come up with something that irritates you every day? It's pretty easy. Usually it's a matter of which one am I going to choose from, right? And you work the process. And you get to recreate the meaning in your life. You get to retell your story. You get to even, there's a shamanic piece to it almost, where you get to reimagine your life, right? If this, who you had come here to be, was actually who you showed up as, right? Different world, different life. So let's take a breath, and I'm going to invite Misa up here. And we're going to step into our meditation song as we just allow this idea of what would our life be if no one and nothing were against us.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I am. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
So we breathe into that space in our hearts, our spiritual identity, not our human understanding. We breathe into that spiritual awareness of truly how blessed we are regardless of circumstance, regardless of whether the program is not working the way we want it to, regardless of how things may or may not be showing up in time and space the way we would want them to. We go deeper to that place, that space that knows the very truth of what we are. The living expression of that full, whole, magnificent, awe-inspiring, joyful presence, always seeking to reveal more and never less, always seeking to touch and heal the raw, wounded spaces of our understanding. This is the journey we have said yes to. Healing, wholeness. So we rest here in this space. And we allow that wisdom, that awareness of truth to speak to us in ways that we can understand. A new understanding, a new awareness What would my life be if I truly knew that no one and nothing, no thing is against me? Listening, welcoming this new awareness of who we truly are. Let's rest together, listening in the silence. And so it's from this place, this awareness of the wholeness that we are. This is where we live and breathe and have our very beingness. And so we just open up and are willing to bring this identity, this spiritual identity, into our life in the day-to-day. Our willingness to open to a new understanding, a willingness to let go of the blame and the judgment, to let go of the story, to let go of the idea that there is even an enemy. Oh, celebrating that yes, when we say yes, a way is made. When we say yes, transformation happens. When we say yes and activate ourselves, living, embodied living of these principles of truth, we truly can know just how blessed we truly are.
I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that there is.
Open your hearts in gratitude.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
And so it is. Ashe.
Blessings. Thank you, Deanne. Let's give her a round of applause for being the example and for consciousness and steadfastness and pulling it together because the consciousness is there, right? Right? Here at Unity, we invite you to join with us in spiritual practices, and there's so many different ways to practice. I want to say again, thank you for letting me have this as my spiritual home and showing up and practicing. prayer or noticing when I'm in enemy territory and reaching out. So there's in your bulletin, on this connection card, another tool that we have for us to know you and for Reverend Ken and Deanne to read whatever you write. But on this connection card, there are some suggested spiritual practices that Deanne has already pre-written, or you can write your own. But here's some suggestions for what you might think about doing this week. The first one is to notice when I am in enemy territory. Boy, is that a good one. Can I just even see that I'm in that painful place and see it? Then, do I notice the stories that I tell when I'm in that enemy territory? That's a great spiritual practice this week. This other one, open to a life with no one and nothing against me. That's a really good intention. If I can just say to myself, I'm willing to be open, what might come from that willingness? The last one here is to take the Q Process 21-day workshop to dig a little deeper. These same 4 choices, or write your own, they're also in your bulletin at the very bottom so that you can take it home and remind yourself. Or watch the YouTube video again later this week and remind yourself, what was I thinking and feeling? What was stirred up within me? The possibility of a life of grace and freedom and peace within my own mind. If you're viewing with us online through our website, there is interactive buttons for spiritual practices, and then whatever you write in the spiritual practice being shared with Ken and Deanne, you will then receive an email back reminding you of what the intention was that you set. Another part of this wonderful tool is the power of agreement, that Ken and Deanne are the only ones who read what you write. We, the prayer chaplains, including myself, love to pray for you, but I pray for you in a way that it is your best and your highest, and your good is happening right now, and even more good. But I don't know the details. Ken and Deanne, they're going to read these details, and they're going to use the power of agreement to say yes to you again for whatever you want to manifest. You can also share with them a praise report of something good that's happening in your life, and Ken and Deanne would love to feel the connection with you. As the offering basket goes by, which is another wonderful ritual of empowerment for myself to know that the divine within me is so flowing outward that I am able to smile and share that abundance with an open heart, with joy. So when the offering basket comes by, you're going to put your spiritual connection card in the basket, but there's also an envelope in the chair in front of you. If you want to give cash, please put your name on the white envelope so that the bookkeeper knows to accumulate your tax records for the whole year if you're giving cash. And if you've already given electronically, there's another part of our ritual, this little card that says I auto-tithe electronically. So as that basket goes by, you're putting in your spiritual connection card, your love, your intention into the ritual, knowing that you are the divine expressing your choice. Thank you for being here and celebrating together in this wonderful place that we call home. To talk about giving and receiving, let's welcome up our board person of the day, Ray Kingsley.
Hello, everyone. First, I want to say to Deanne, I'm an IT professional, and sometimes the computers are out to get you. My hot water tank was out to get me last week. It cost me $1,700. So I just took a page out of Marianne Williamson's book and said, I'm grateful that I can stand the loss. And moved on. Yeah, I'm virtuous that way. So anyway, to answer the question of why I support this community, I kind of go back to the reason why I'm here in the first place. And there's a little bit of a story to that. I've been a Christian since about 1969 and have some anchors in that faith that have held me in good stead all that time. Still identify as a Christian, but I was in this church in Fremont, a lovely place. I was a mover and a shaker. I was the head of the trustees. I was the adult Sunday school teacher, the great guru of the Bible. But I found I'd stopped growing. It was kind of getting kind of stale. We read the same books by all the progressive Christian authors, Marcus Borg, the Archbishop Spong, all those people, and we were never really moving on to anything new. So this beautiful 92-year-old woman said, I got a book for you. It's by a guy named Brother David. Was a monk of some kind, Carmelite or something. But his order sent him out to learn everything he could about Buddhism. So he did, and he became one of the leading Buddhists in North America. He hobnobbed with the Dalai Lama and all that stuff. So he wrote this book, and I read it, and we read it in class, and the class hated it. It wasn't that convincing, but it planted a seed. Here's this Catholic monk whose order, his bosses, sent him out to learn Buddhism. And he did. And he became a really influential Buddhist. And says, well, maybe my path is leading me outside the realm of traditional Christianity. Maybe I should look into that. So things happened, and Ken and I got together, and now we're up here, and this is what I got. This is why I'm here. I've learned about the inner journey here. I've learned about my own consciousness, how my mind works, how my mind can affect my life, and what it's all about. So, I'm still going to two churches. I come here for the inner journey. I go there for the outer journey. There's where we feed the poor. We do everything Jesus said to do. And we do that, and I'm grateful to be associated with both churches. I love them both. So, somebody, I don't know, Daigle, said, you give where you're spiritually fed, and I'm spiritually fed here, so I support this community. I love you all. Thank you very much. Now I think we have an affirmation to say. It's on the screen. I'll say it once, then I'll ask you to join me. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I joyously give and receive. Together.
Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I joyously give and receive.
Amen.
I have journeyed through the long dark night, out on the open sea. By faith alone, sight unknown, and yet love's eyes were watching me. The anchor holds, though the ship is battered. The anchor holds, though the sails are torn. I have fallen on my knees as I faced the raging seas, but the anchor holds in spite of the storm. I've had visions and I've had dreams. We've even held them in our hands, but I never knew that they could slip right through, like they were only grains of sand. Yet the anchor holds, though the ship is battered. The the anchor holds. Though the ship is battered, the anchor holds. Though the sails are torn, I have fallen on my knees as I faced the raging seas. But the anchor holds in spite of the storm. Yes, we have fallen on our knees as we face the raging seas. But the anchor holds in spite of the
And our fabulous band.
Yay! And now let's welcome up our kids. Yay! Hey, Macari, come on.
This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Ooh, hi, Milan. I see we did a lot of face painting today.
You want to show your face to everybody?
Wait, it should be on now.
It is on.
Yes. Sorry. International for Mexico is Day of the Child, so we did face painting for the kids, and we also have a piñata for them.
Oh, neat. You did a piñata?
So Roma is a princess, purple princess, of course, and Makari let us do Frankenstein.
Yeah. Wonderful. Wonderful. And they have a little treat for us. We have a little song for the kids, don't we? Ms. Misa? Here she is. She where she's supposed to be. Yay! A million dreams for these. They have a blessing for these kids, millions of kids all around the world. In every country, in every heart, in every place. And it goes, you are God's perfect child. We love you exactly the way you are. As we all hold this dream for children around the world, let's say this affirmation together. You are God's perfect child. We love you exactly the way you are. And so it is. So thank you to everybody who made this service possible. Our incredible band and Deborah Winters, yay. Misa Malone, our audiovisual team, our live streaming people, our sound and our PowerPoint, our ushers and greeters, and of course our prayer chaplains who will be here. And with the hospitality team, I can't forget them. I saw the food out front, looks great. And our prayer chaplains will be here on platform or in the prayer chaplain corner to pray with you immediately following service. And we have a lot going on this week. So Om Hour starts on Wednesday at 7 here in the sanctuary. The Q process starts online on Saturday. And then in 2 weeks, we have the spiritual lessons of Hamilton. So bring a friend. We'll put the chairs back, more chairs for everybody. And the prayer retreat. Sign up today in the lobby. Today's the day to sign up. And there are cards for Ben in the lobby too. Please stop by and sign a card for Ben in the lobby as you're leaving, and we'll make sure they get to him. So also, there's one other treat. Lolly and Pops is a store that's in a lot of malls that Misa works for. And they gave us cases of popcorn. They're all waiting in the lobby for you. We were supposed to give them away last week at Easter, and we forgot. So they're all there for you now, cases and cases of popcorn. Take 2. Take 3. Give them away. Bring them out to the homeless people. So, and then share the journey. All right? So let's all rise, stay rising as we are, and do our closing song, True Colors. Affirmations. I'll say them once and I'll invite you to repeat them after me. I open to a new understanding. I release blame and judgment. I release the idea anything is against me. I give thanks for my life being fully supported. So